back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Metalhead. And I've had this figure for about 2 weeks or something. I just haven't been able to get around to reviewing it because there's been so much other stuff. But usually, with something like this, if that much time goes by, I kind of just, I don't get around to reviewing it. But in this case, I'm so excited about this figure, I wanted to talk about, so here we are. Let's go ahead and get into it, starting off with this awesome looking packaging. The packaging is very similar to the NECA Ultimates figures because it does have a flip cover where you can open it up and take a look at the figure. You can see all the cool accessories that it comes with. You get a shot of the figure itself, and it has a Velcro cover, so you can just close that up and it stays closed if you want to display it like that. And then the artwork on the front looks really cool too. We have Metalhead here, and it looks like he's facing off against Donatello and Michelangelo, so that's cool. Then right up here it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in that classic animated series style text. Down here it says NECA, Nickelodeon, and the Mighty Metalhead. On this side it says Ninja Turtles and the Mighty Metalhead Volume 1. And then on the back we get a look at some artwork. We have Metalhead vacuuming Splinter, and then a bunch of really cool looking action figure shots of the figure itself. So yeah, a lot of good stuff here on the packaging. Oh, and then right here it gives us a pretty good little description of the character of Metalhead, so that's really cool too. Over here, it's the same as the opposite side. And that's about it for the packaging. It is collector friendly, so you can take the figure out if you'd like and put him back in the box. But enough about the packaging. Let's go ahead and take this figure out and take a look. Okay, so here we have Metalhead right out of the box. And man, I'm enjoying this figure a lot more than I thought I would. I knew I was going to like it because it's a NECA Turtle figure, and NECA is absolutely killing it with the Ninja Turtle stuff. So I figured it was going to be a good toy, but I really wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. As soon as I took it out of the box, I was completely in love with this thing because there's a lot of good stuff going on here as far as articulation and just random features. There's a lot of things to enjoy with this figure, and I'll be honest with you, I don't remember Metalhead all that much. I do remember the old figure from Playmates back in the day that had like a chrome chest that was like shiny. I kind of remember him from the show. I remember the look, and then I remember something about him being like he had kind of like a vision thing going on, right? Like first he was a bad guy, then he was a good guy, and then at one point he had all the personalities of the Turtles, and that's pretty much all I remember about the character. So this wasn't necessarily something like Casey Jones, where like Casey Jones was my favorite character and I always wanted a good toy of him. Metalhead didn't really fall in that category, but once I saw it revealed at Comic-Con, I was like, oh man, that looks cool. I remember him. I got to get that, you know? And I was expecting that it was going to be a fun figure. But yeah, when I took it out of the box, I had no idea that I was going to like it as much as I do. Just look at it. It's a really cool, unique looking figure. He's going to look so dope on the shelf along with the other NECA Turtle stuff. But yeah, this is a nice figure. But anyways, let's go ahead and get in close and take a look at the details. And let's go ahead and start things off at the head itself. This is a really nice looking head sculpt. I love that you could open his mouth and it gives him like an entirely different look. Check that out. It kind of looks like he's smiling. That reminds me of Barney. But yeah, that looks really cool. On the inside of the mouth, it's all black, but the rest of the head does have some really good paint work. I love the red eyes and I like the yellow mask. And of course we have those awesome black lines to give it that more animated look, so that's cool. Then moving around to the side here, we have the green on the side of the head where the I guess where a robotic turtle's ears would be. So that's cool. And then the yellow kind of wraps around the back there. And we do have that two-tone effect kind of going on. We have the light gray up front and then the dark gray in the back, same thing like on the body itself. So again, that all helps to make it look more animated. And then moving down into the chest here, he does have these compartments that open up. And then we have some minor details in there, nothing crazy. But that's cool. And then you can see there's some peg holes where you could plug in one of the weapons that we'll look at in a little bit. But these compartment doors are really cool. They're very smooth and you have no problem opening them. I would be careful going too far out though, because they kind of have a hard stop right there. If you try to go further than that, you might snap these things off. So be very careful. But yeah, bam, bam, that's cool. And we got that right there on the chest. We have a little bit of red. The belt does have some grenades on it. And the belt doesn't really move around. So it's stuck in place, so that's cool. I do like that. We have some more like animation effect lines. Moving down into the legs, his knee pads look cool. The yellow matches the mask. And the feet look cool, because I like how they have that classic Ninja Turtle color scheme, you know. We got some red on the side there. Yeah, awesome stuff. Taking a look at the arms here. The shoulders look cool. I like that red right there to add some like variation to the color here. And we have these elbow pads. And then we have some green here on the lower arms. And then we have lines on the fingers. So all of it looks really, really nice. Now let's take a look at the back here. I love the turtle shell too. I like all these angles. It feels very robotic, so it's cool. And then we do have this little lever that actually toggles up and down. It's like a power down switch. So that's cool. I do wish this was made of some other type of material, because I feel like if you drop this guy, this thing could snap off, you know. So be very careful there. But yeah, the overall look and details on this figure are incredibly well done. I really like the way that it looks. And for accessories, Metalhead does come with a bunch of fun stuff, including 3 different sets of hands. So let's start off with those. First off, we have a set of open hands. And then we have a pair of fists. And then we have a set of gripping hands. And then he also comes with a couple of different attachments. First off, we have this drill attachment that plugs right into his hand. And then he comes with this vacuum attachment. And this is sad, man. The Ninja Turtles acquire this awesome turtle clone with multiple personalities and a bunch of weapons, and what do? They make them a house cleaner. That's why like robots come to life and like revolt against their owners and creators. It's some bullshit. And the final accessory is a little gun that comes out from his chest. And taking a closer look at the details on the attachment, starting off with the drill, this thing is really cool. Again, we have those black lines that I always love. And it looks like there's a little ball joint in there, but it doesn't move around. Let's go ahead and plug it onto Metalhead. So it plugs right onto the wrist. And yeah, that works out really cool. And then next up we have the vacuum, which also just plugs right on. And the vacuum is cool too. The vacuum actually has like a hinge on this. Let's see here. It's kind of tight, but there we go. It does move around. So that's nice. And then we have the two-tone color bag right here with some like red and orange, and it plugs into the arm with no problem at all. So, and then we have this guy here, which is the gun that comes out of his chest, and I like this a lot too. It does have like a little wire hanging off the side, and the best way to do this that I find is that you plug the wire into the hole on Metalhead first, and then you do the weapon itself, because there's a hole for the wire in there. And there you go. It plugs right in. Doesn't feel like it's gonna fall out or anything. I was pretty careful with mine. I didn't feel like it was going to snap or anything goofy like that, so that's good too. But yeah, there we go. That's awesome stuff right there. And now for some quick size comparisons, we have Metalhead alongside the Neca Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series versions of Donatello and Michelangelo. And man, I didn't realize that Metalhead was so much bigger than the Turtles. Look how massive he looks next to them. I think that's really cool. I don't know how accurate that is. I mean, it's the way that I remember it, Metalhead was pretty much the same size as the Turtles, but who knows? I mean, I could be misremembering, and, you know, maybe the cartoon kind of was inconsistent in how they showed his size. Who knows? But, man, I did not expect Metalhead to be this much bigger than the Turtles, but I will say that I like it a lot. And then now here we have him alongside the NECA Turtles in Time Slash and the NECA San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version of Krang. And then now here we have Metalhead alongside the NECA Bebop and Rocksteady. And damn, I wasn't really expecting Metalhead to be as big as them. That's crazy. And then here's Metalhead alongside the NECA Shredder and NECA Foot Soldier. And then here's Metalhead alongside the DC Collectibles Mikey as Batman. And then on the opposite side, we have the Super 7 Toxie. And speaking of Super 7, I ended up caving and buying a couple of the Super 7 Ninja Turtles figures. So I do have Raph and Splinter on the way. So I'm excited to take a look at those. And then next up, we have them alongside the NECA animated series version of Casey Jones and the NECA movie version of Casey Jones. And then taking it back to the 80s, here we have Metalhead alongside the Bandai America Lion-O, I believe that was. And then on the opposite side, we have the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes by Hasbro. And then, of course, we have Metalhead alongside the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Bucky Cap. And then for the final size comparison, the one that everybody's been waiting for, here we have Metalhead alongside the Marvel Legends Custom The Wall figure by Loose Collector. And the articulation on Metalhead really caught me by surprise, because despite the complicated character design, they were still able to fit a good amount of articulation into this figure. So I'm pretty impressed with what we have going on here, considering that it's a big robot turtle, you know. But yeah, they did a good job with it. So let's go ahead and get into it, starting off with the head. It does move side to side. It's got a little bit of tilt to it, which is always nice. He can look up only to about right there, so that's not very good. But he can look down a good amount, which is great because he's so much bigger than the Turtles. So you could have him look down at the Turtles. And then his mouth is able to open too, so you have some articulation there at the jaw, and that's cool. That's a lot of fun. That's about it for the head. And then for the torso, it's really cool what they did here. So he does have like a waist swivel, which is nice because it kind of, the waist swivel just runs along the top of the belt, so you don't see the break or anything. It looks very natural and looks good. So that's cool that they did it like that. And it's a little different than they've done on their previous Ninja Turtles figures. As you can see with Raph here, he's got the front of the shell and the back of the shell covering up the torso, so you don't get all that much movement. You only get a little bit of twist. But with Metalhead, you could twist a really good amount. So that's awesome. So I'm surprised they haven't done something a little similar to Metalhead on the Ninja Turtles figures. Maybe it's because they want the belt to like seem a little loose on the figures or something. I don't know. I'm not sure why, but it would be cool if they, I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I would like to see how it would come out if they did the turtle torso articulation, how they did Metalheads. I think it would be pretty good actually. Because it wouldn't break up the turtle shell. You know, you have the belt right there, so that would make it look intact. I guess if you turned it too much, then it would look like it was broken up. So maybe they just want to prevent that. But I don't know. It's interesting to see them do it different on Metalhead when he does have a similar design, even though it's like a robotic version. But anyways, I'm glad to see that we have a twist here at the waist. And let's see what else we have going on. There's no type of crunch, obviously, because he's just too big and crazy. But yeah, it's okay for the torso. I like that we have the twist. And then for the arms, we have ball jointed shoulders that do go, they could almost go all the way around. Oh, there we go. They could go all the way around. He could bring them out to the side to about right there. So he's got these little ball joints on the shoulders, and you could mess with them to get his arm like in front of him like that. Look at that. Have him smacking a turtle. Bow! So that's kind of cool. Bring it back. So yeah, the ball joint here works pretty nice, and it's kind of like in the open, you know, there's no other like plastic surrounding it that's preventing any kind of movement, so you get some good movement out of that ball jointed shoulder. And then let's see what else we have going on here. Oh, we have a upper bicep swivel. He has a single jointed elbow. The single jointed elbow doesn't get all that much movement. Let's see. Yeah, it only moves to about right there, so less than 90. And then for the hands, we have swivel and a hinge. That's a nice hinge there. There you go. And then for the legs, we have ball jointed hips, and they do come out to the side to about right there. They come forward only to about right there, and then his blocky ass thigh kind of prevents it from moving any further forward. And then we have, oh, let's see, he could go back only to about right there. And then we have upper thigh swivel. He kind of has a double jointed knee. I mean, he does, but the top part of the joint doesn't really get much movement. But you're going to get most of your movement from that bottom knee joint. But still, he gets, what, like a little bit past 90. Not very much, but a little bit. Let's see what else we have going on here at the legs. There's no lower leg swivel. No swivel at the foot or anything. But it does hinge forward to about right there. Dang, that's a good amount. Comes up to about right there. Again, pretty good amount. And then he does have rocking ankles. So yeah, he's not the most articulated figure ever, but like I said, for a big robotic turtle, I think there's definitely enough here to satisfy most people's needs when it comes to Metalhead. Alright guys, so overall, I love this figure, and I think that Neca did an incredible job with it. As far as the look goes, I feel like he perfectly represents this version of Metalhead. He looks exactly like he did in the cartoon. I always love like the little paint tricks that Neca does to make these figures feel more animated. They did that with Metalhead, and it translates perfectly. This guy looks just like he did in the cartoon, so I'm very, very happy with that. The sculpting work is really good too. Everything is very well sculpted. Everything is clean. The figure just looks incredible. As far as the articulation goes, there's a lot of good stuff going on here, but you know, it's not the most articulated figure ever, but he does have a lot of articulation, especially for a big, huge robotic turtle. So I'm happy with what we have going on here, and honestly, there's more articulation on this figure than I was expecting, so that was a pleasant surprise. As far as the accessories go, there's a lot of good stuff. I like the the multiple hands and the little attachments that he comes with, but I do wish that he came with a few more attachments, because with a character like this, you could really get creative with like the weapons that you're able to put on him. Unfortunately, they just gave him a drill and a vacuum, but those are things that are very specific to this character and his appearances in the show. So, you know, it is what it is. I am happy with that stuff, but it would have been cool to get a little more. I do like the gun that comes out of his chest though. I think that's really, really cool. And to be honest with you, I feel like the figure is pretty much perfect. But if I had to like pick out maybe like a nitpick or something, I guess I would say I wish that the lever was made out of like different material, maybe softer plastic or something that's less prone to breaking, because I did hear that somebody had broken theirs in their review. So that does kind of suck. I didn't watch the review myself, so I'm not really sure what the details are or what he was doing. Maybe he was mishandling it. Who knows? But you could tell that it's stiff and it doesn't have a lot of give, you know. So I wish they would have made it out of some type of material that was a little bit softer and had some give, so you didn't have to worry about it breaking. But I figure if you're careful, you really don't have to be too concerned with it. And then aside from that, yeah, man, I can't really think of anything that I consider a flaw with this figure. There's one point of articulation I feel they could have put in here that they didn't, and that would be the lower neck. I wish that they made the neck a separate piece. That way we had movement at the lower neck. But again, that's really just being nitpicky. But to be honest with you, I think this is pretty much a perfect representation of Metalhead from the animated series. So yeah, man, Neca did a great job with it. And I really think that Metalhead is probably one of the best figures in the line so far. And that's saying a lot, because Neca's been killing it. They have a bunch of really good figures, but I feel like Metalhead might be right up there with Casey Jones for me. They did such a great job with it, and I'm just really happy with it. So anyways, good stuff, Neca. But I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thank you very much. Peace.